Over the past few years, I've really been struggling with holding on to old relationships. I was holding on to old relationships even though deep down inside myself, I knew that it just wasn't the same anymore. And there could be many reasons why. Changing cities, changing jobs, changing life paths. But whatever it could be, we were going our separate ways. Things that used to put us in common ground, such as friendships that bonded over partying no longer served me, or even relationship that holds you back from bettering yourself. All of that led to guilt. You could not help but wonder if it was because I'm being selfish, feeling guilty for being absent, feeling guilty for avoiding contact. And this is the unspoken truth about what transformation really is, and how outgrowing your circle is completely normal. Sometimes by trying to hold on to specific old relationships can be more damaging to yourself or even to the receiving end. And I know figuring out whether or not that you have outgrown someone is not a simple task. For example, leaving a friendship can sometimes feel worse than a romantic breakup. All those years of accumulated memories, emotions, and mutual support that binded you guys all together really doesn't make you want to hurt your friend. And more importantly, you don't want to make them feel that you're being arrogant and that you're on your high horse. But at the same time, inevitably it will drain your energy just for old time's sake. Then tension starts to unfold, especially when you guys are chatting and having conversations about certain things in life. It starts to highlight your differences in value, in life goals, and then you start tiptoeing around. You don't want to add more to the fire. And then you slowly realize you're no longer yourself anymore around them. And then with a bit of reflection, you realize that these are signs of a friendship fading. And sometimes you do really need to lose it in order to find it again, whether it's with the same person or it's with someone else. Sometimes you can think of them as guideposts in your path, a path to grow to a better version and a path to new connections in your journey. And I know we live in a society where we honor lifetime relationships, longevity in relationships, but this also leads to the misconception of lifetime relationships or bonding. All of this neglects everything around a relationship, including values, ethics, life stages, and more important, how people change. And therefore, so do needs, boundaries, also expectation changes. It is so important for us to all recognize that no matter how long you have been in that relationship, it has its own value, and it is unrealistic to expect that every relationship that we're in has a lifetime timeline. Some relationships are seasonal, and it is okay. In fact, I believe life has many chapters, and we are the characters inside it that is constantly changing and shifting. You are allowed to and supposed to outgrow your old version, to improve and better yourself, which sometimes does mean that previous relationships fade. And outgrowing friendships is a completely normal experience for anyone that's going through any major life transformations. Old friends that are going on a different life path may be subconsciously holding you back. And maybe that's also why we feel guilty for stepping away. We feel like we don't want to leave them behind, but we have to remember, we're not leaving them behind because they also have their own life path that they are also going through. People come into our life for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. While we may want every single relationship that we create to be put into a lifetime teapot or a lifetime box, but this isn't always going to be the case, and we need to remember it is okay. It's created the person you were when you first entered into that specific relationship or friendship could look very, very different from where you are right now and where you want to be. So what can we do when we feel like we're also in the process of outgrowing our friendships or any relationship? The first thing I would say is assess whether the relationship needs to end or its closeness just needs some recalibration. Sometimes it may look like we're just stepping back and forming new boundaries that can also maintain your friendship and your well-being. Next is probably to reflect what brought you guys together, what created that bond, and why does it look different now? And cut yourself some slack. You are allowed to evolve. Allow yourself to lovingly detach from these dynamics that are no longer serving you. And remember, that does not invalidate the friendship that it was. And it is okay for relationships to not last for a lifetime. But if there was one thing I wanted to highlight about outgrowing people in general, is that sometimes I think the word outgrow can be redefined, because you're not bettering someone else. Everyone's pathway is just different, and sometimes there needs to be that tension in order to go and steer in the right direction of what your purpose in life is. So how about this? Instead of saying you're outgrowing people or outgrowing relationships, perhaps you can change the word to a bit more positive way, which is transforming yourself. Comment below and let me know if you guys can find a better word to replace outgrowing. And I hope this video has helped some of you, and it definitely has helped myself to really reflect on past relationships and avoid feeling guilty. Avoid feeling guilty about self-development. And don't let old time's sake hold you back.